spiritual things. And any organization, like the Boy Scouts or the YMCA or whatever you call it, takes away, or it can take away, from the things of God. Eternal life, the things of the Spirit. Of course, look around you. Look at our Brigadier Generals. Now, these are Brigadier Generals that I neglected to put General first and Brigadier after. So I still have to get my act together in terms of organization for sorting and collating. But just take a look. The armies are all Freemasons. Let's just flip over here. Mason, Mason, 32nd degree Mason, Shriner, Sojourner. I mean, they tell you what they are. Here's a British general. Sorry? Here's a Catholic priest, Jesuit, who established Freemasonry in Costa Rica. Amazing. Chairman of various board, chairman of the board of BBD. That's a pretty important position. Chairman of the board of Ford Motor Company. Chairman of the board of Phillips Petroleum. Can you read these from where you are? You can't read them? Chairman of the board FDIC. Chairman of the board Humble Oil. Chairman of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs. Chairman of the New York Republican Committee. Chairman of the Republican Convention in Indiana. Chairman State Boards of Education. Now, we're going to have some fun here. Chief Justices. Chief Justice of Alabama. Just let me scroll through these. Do you see? Commanding Generals. Commodore, U.S. Navy. Congressman. Alabama, Arkansas, Colorado, Connecticut. Goodbye, Paul. Thank you. Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky. See, he knows all this. Missouri, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina. Look at Ohio. You have to understand, I'm only in the F's. What is this going to look like when I got to Z? Sister says, you better quit doing this and start reading the Summa. Look at the congressman. Do you get this picture? Do you get this picture? Can you imagine? I'm only into 5 or 6 letters of the alphabet. I've got 20 more to go. When would you like to come back when we finish? And just watch me scroll through this for about 1 week steady. Correspondence. You want to know why you don't get any truth in news? Look at this. Baltimore News, New York Item, Boston Journal, The Sun, Washington Correspondent, New York Sun. Here's some other countries. Costa Rica, Cuba. Various delegates to various things. American Council on Education. Inter-Parliamentary Union, National Democratic Convention delegate 7 times. Delegate to the Republican National Convention 3 times. Delegate to the Republican State Convention 17 times. Delegate to several Republican National Conventions. Folks, it's time to wake up. Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate, Democratic floor leader, Democratic National Convention delegate 5 times. Directors of various corporations. You name the corporation, we have the director. I'll just scroll through. Here's one who's director of 11 Gulf foreign oil companies. Another one who's director of 13 corporations. There's 32nd degree Mason. You find out that the people who have the more authority and the more power tend to be Scottish Rite Masons of the 32nd and 33rd degree. Director of Ford Fund, the Flying D Ranch, Gallatin Gateway. The Gallatins have been conspirologists forever. They're mentioned in here, the Unholy Alliances. Director of Hollywood Academy of Fine Arts. You see, Hollywood is tied into all of this as well. As a matter of fact, there's over 100 movies where they have slipped in handshakes that are absolutely Masonic. And you don't see them. You're not looking for those. Director of Railways, Director of Research, Director of the Sheraton Corporation of America. Here is the Director of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Various banks, Dow Chemical, Sherwin-Williams, Dun & Bradstreet. Now look at the editors. When I started hitting the Masons, I thought, man, I'm having a hard time getting on the radio. Well, they control all the radio and they control all the press. Just exactly like the Illuminati said they intended to do. Just exactly like they said they intended to do. Here's various editors and publishers: Wyoming, Minneapolis, New York, Ann Arbor, Michigan, Hartford, Connecticut, St. Louis Globe, Columbia Broadcasting System, that's CBS, New York Times, Baltimore Star, New York Press, even Havana, America. Protestant World, let's see who that happened to be. Just a Mason, James Craig. Editor, Chicago Journal, Minneapolis Tribune, Milwaukee Sentinel, and Evening, Wisconsin. Chicago Examiner, Detroit Times, Kansas Churchman, Ladies' Home Journal. We don't leave anything out now. There will be no opportunities to get the truth out. How about the Christian Scientist Monitor, or Harper's Weekly, or the Honolulu Advertiser, the Pittsburgh Press, or Popular Science? Popular Science is telling us all about Area 51. Well, how much are they telling us? Now, this is cute. FBI agent, FBI Assistant Director, Hugh Clegg. That was some time ago. That was 1832. Here's the President of the Federal Council of Churches, which I indicated before is a communist front. That's all discussed in Unholy Alliances. Federal judges. You wonder why there is no justice? Father Richter used to call the justice system in America the injustice system. Well, why? They're all Freemasons. Founders of various organizations: Bell Aircraft, founder of the Boy Scouts, founder of St. Paul Daily News, founder of the Mother Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite. Here's the generals that I got organized properly. Again, watch this. Amazing, huh? General Secretary of the YMCA, General Secretary of World Convention of Churches, the World Convention of Churches, World Council of Churches, various governors. Well, we give away free in the back a listing of all the governors in the United States of America, all of those that are listed in 10,000 Freemasons. It would appear that unless you're a Mason, you don't get to be governor. I think Shirley Carell said yesterday that situation is basically you get to vote and we get to put a Freemason in. Various governors: Alabama, Arkansas, Connecticut. I just flip through these because they're all on paper at the back and you can get the whole schmeal. That one's already done, all the way to 1955 or 1964, something like that. Takes me time to just go through this. Various Grand Masters of interest. Now this is kind of interesting. Holy Roman Emperor refused to promulgate Pope Clement's bull against Freemasonry in Austria. You say, well, how did this happen? Well, you have various individuals who would not promulgate these bulls against Freemasonry. They became Freemasons themselves. And as a result of that, they legitimized and gave license to Freemasonry, and in they walk in the door. Next thing you know, they take over the entire country. Now, for the benefit of Michael, even in India, where I was told there's no Freemasonry, this individual's father founded the Sikh kingdom. How are you going to have a one-world brotherhood? You're going to have a one-world brotherhood full of Freemasons. You want to get on that van? You want to be on that bus? That's the bus of the devil. Now, also very interesting, Inquisition victims as listed in 10,000 Famous Freemasons. Here's an individual named John Custos. He founded a lodge in Lisbon, Portugal. He was a victim of the Inquisition. Is that good or is that bad? Here's another one. Both Cagliostro, a Mason. I mean, people who have read John Robeson's book should remember that name. So if the Inquisition is against Freemasons, is that bad or is that good? Why do you think the devil hates the Catholic Church so much? Here's an internal revenue agent. Various judges, circuit judges, district judges, judge of common pleas, judge of the Supreme Court, Missouri, Ohio, Vermont, Washington. And again, I don't have these all organized quite as well as